Let's begin. But first, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to James' Stories. Ava Thompson never imagined her career would hinge on a lie. She stood in the glass-walled conference room of Luxcore Industries, fingers clenched around her tablet as the executives whispered among themselves. Her heart pounded louder than the city traffic 30 floors below. "Ava," said Miranda Cole, the ICHR director, adjusting her designer glasses. "We've reviewed your performance. You're brilliant. Efficient. Loyal." Ava swallowed. Praise from Miranda was never a good sign. "But," Miranda continued, "our biggest client, the Wellington Group, has very traditional values. They prefer stability." Ava already knew what was coming. They don't feel comfortable assigning a major project to someone who appears unattached. Unattached. Single. Alone. Ava forced a professional smile. "My personal life has never affected my work." Miranda's lips curved slightly. "Perception matters. The board is reconsidering your position as project lead." That night, Ava sat alone in her tiny apartment, job offer letter glowing on her laptop screen like a ticking bomb. 3 days. She had 3 days to prove she had a stable personal life before the contract and possibly her job was gone. That's when desperation gave birth to a reckless idea. Light bulb the fake boyfriend plan. 2 days later, Ava stood nervously outside a cafe in downtown Chicago, scanning the crowd. Then she saw him. Tall. Broad-shouldered. Wearing a tailored navy coat that screamed money, but his smile was warm, disarming. "You must be Ava," he said, extending a hand. "I'm Lucas Reed." His voice was smooth, confident. Too confident for a man answering a fake boyfriend ad. They shook hands. "I'll be honest," Ava said quickly. "I just need you to pretend to be my boyfriend at a company event. Nothing complicated." Lucas smiled softly. "Simple arrangements are my specialty." She didn't notice the way his eyes lingered on her face, like he'd memorized it long ago. What Ava didn't know, couldn't know, was that Lucas Reed wasn't an actor or freelancer. He was Lucas Alexander Reed. Founder. Majority shareholder. Billionaire CEO of Luxcore Industries. And he'd been in love with Ava Thompson for over a year. A love he hid in silence. Lucas first noticed Ava during a late-night strategy meeting. She challenged a flawed projection no one else dared to question. Calm. Intelligent. Fearless. From that moment, he watched her rise, never intervening, never revealing himself. He refused to let power corrupt something real. But when HR flagged her job over something so cruelly shallow, something inside him snapped. This was his chance. Not as a CEO. But as a man. Christmas tree the company event. The ballroom glowed with golden lights as Ava stepped in, arm linked with Lucas's. "You okay?" he whispered. She nodded, though her palms were sweating. "Just, don't let go." Lucas tightened his grip. "I won't." Executives turned. Whispers spread. "That's Ava Thompson? She never mentioned a boyfriend. Who is he?" Lucas played his role flawlessly, gentle touches, quiet jokes, a kiss to her knuckles that made her breath catch. For the first time in months, Ava felt safe. Miranda approached them, smile sharp. "Ava, aren't you going to introduce us?" Ava hesitated. "This is Lucas," he said smoothly. "Lucas Reed." Miranda froze for half a second, but Ava missed it. Later that night, as music swelled and champagne flowed, Lucas leaned close. "You don't have to pretend right now," he murmured. Ava looked up at him. "I know. But I kind of like pretending." Something dangerous flickered between them. Something real. Kaboom! The truth explodes. 2 weeks later, Ava walked into the executive boardroom and froze. At the head of the table sat Lucas. Not in a coat. Not smiling softly. but in a perfectly tailored suit, authority radiating from him. "Mr. Reed," Miranda said, "our CEO." The room spun. Her fake boyfriend stood slowly, eyes locked on hers. "Ava," he said gently, "we need to talk." The betrayal cut deep. "You lied to me," she whispered later, tears burning. "Was this a game to you?" Lucas shook his head. "Never. I hid who I was because I wanted you to choose me, without power involved." She laughed bitterly. "You let me fall for you under a lie." "I let myself fall harder," he replied. "I loved you before you ever hired me." Cloud with rain walking away. Ava quit the project. She couldn't stay. Not after that. Weeks passed. Silence filled her apartment again, but this time, it hurt more. Then one evening, a knock. Lucas stood there, rain-soaked, eyes raw. "I won't hide anymore," he said. "I don't want to be your boss. I don't want to be your secret." He held out a folder. Inside was a resignation letter. "I'm stepping down. The company will survive. But I won't, without you." Ava's heart shattered open. "You'd give up everything?" "I already did," he whispered. "The moment I fell in love with you." Bling bling. No more pretending. 6 months later, Ava stood in the same ballroom, this time holding Lucas's hand for real. No lies. No contracts. No pretending. When he knelt before her, the room erupted in gasps. "This time," he said, smiling through tears, "will you be my girlfriend for life?" She laughed, crying. "Yes. 1,000 times yes. Because sometimes, the fake love you hire turns out to be the real thing that saves you." If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to James Stories.